My name's Will, and I got my article off of coolantarctica.com. The article is called Human Impacts on Antarctica and Threats to the Environment. It was published in 2012. Um, and as far as the synopsis goes, this is talking about a environment in Antarctica that don't have many locals to stand up for the environment. So, some different associations had to be formed to stand up for the environment, and the main association is the International Association of Antarctical Tour Ops, the IAATO, and they are the locals essentially. They stand up for the environment and set standards for tourism in the area, and they regulate and handle things like oil spills when ships crash in the area, which they actually have crashed. And I know they were talking about how tourism in Antarctica is at an all-time high, second to the year of, I think it was 2007, 2008, which was an all-time high. The total is 46,000 people. That's including people not getting out of the tour boat, though. So that's just the grand total of everyone. And the most current data they used was in 2013 and 2014, which they had 38,000. So currently, it's definitely at rising the amount of people going there, which means that we have certain impacts that we need to watch out for. And yeah, that's kind of the synopsis. It's and another thing that they mentioned, kind of generally speaking, is there's an uprise in private tours in the area, and when private tours have issues, if they crash or whatever, planes or whatever it is, they actually don't always clean it up because they don't have anybody to clean it up. It's just simply a crash, and that's definitely a big deal as far as polluting. It's related to the planet and the environmental impacts. They definitely listed a bunch of good reasons why it's related, and the first one is invasive species. People are traveling on these ships, going into a bunch of different areas in the water, and they can introduce different species that aren't in the environment normally. So invasive species are a big deal, as well as the breeding birds in the area of Antarctica are very prone to getting disturbed and just moving when there's too much activity in the area, which they said that there is, and the IATO set certain guidelines as far as how close they can be to their prime habitats so that they're trying not to intrude on the breeding birds' habitats. And I know I spoke about the oil spills already, but that's another big deal. They're standardizing how big the boats can be, where, and everything, so that we don't have reoccurring oil spills in the area. That would definitely be detrimental to the environment. And, yeah, the IAATO, the International Association of Antarctica Tour Ops, is at the forefront of protecting the whole area, and I think that without them, they would just not have a habitat that's sustainable with tourism. They're definitely doing a really good job controlling them. And with my critical thinking and how this is being handled, um, I think it really couldn't be handled any better than what it is right now. Being that no one lives there and no one has the capacity to really take charge, I think that the IAATO is doing a fantastic job, and they're making the best out of kind of a tricky situation, taking responsibility for something that isn't necessarily something for them to spend their resources on. Um, so yeah, it's definitely great that they're focusing in on all these different specs as far as how big boats can be and how close they can get, so that we can try to protect the environment. And lastly, what I predict in say the next 5 years is I think that tourism is going to rise for sure. I don't think it'll rise too much, and I think that the IAATO will be continuing to be at the forefront of protecting Antarctica. And they might have to expand it if tourism does become a bigger thing there. I don't really think that there's going to be many people living there locally. There's just not too much of an economy. I think that the main people that they spoke about We're just kind of scientists and people like that in the area doing studies. And sure, they'll be kind of locals, but they're really there for their job to do research. So I don't think that they're going to take initiative to, to protect the environment. They're going to have to just be doing whatever their job tells them to do. And yeah, that covers everything. Thanks, guys.